Good afternoon, I'm Wilson Weisinger, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2010 Metrodome roof collapse. This is the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. It was completed in 1982 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's a domed stadium that was home to Minnesota Vikings and Minnesota Twins games for more than 20 years. It's a reinforced concrete and steel superstructure, on top of which there was a 2-ply Teflon coated and fiberglass pressure supported roof. And that means the roof was simply supported by maintaining a higher internal pressure than ambient pressure. And so this is almost like a huge balloon. And those cables you see running through this, the roof are doing no structural support. They're simply anchoring the membrane down to the periphery of the superstructure. A little bit about the collapse context. This roof membrane was more than 8 years beyond its designed operating life of 20 years. It was in its 29th year of operation. And additionally, automotive events held within the Metrodome created emissions that had begun to erode the coating on the Teflon a little bit. And then on December 10th, 2010, there was the 5th largest snowstorm in Minnesota history. They were getting more than 17 inches of snow. The snow was so much was falling at so great a rate that snow removal crews that typically would have gone on the roof and removed the snow to reduce the environmental live load were called down due to safety concerns. And eventually it got to a point where the live load wedged the membrane of the roof down into the anchor ring, causing a small rupture. And that small rupture made it impossible to maintain the higher internal pressure of the building. And then we saw that large sagging, as you can see on the right in the GIF, and eventually a total failure of the roof structure. A little bit about the lessons learned in this project. They were primarily about operations and maintenance concerns rather than structural issues, and that can be seen in the fact that the roof that replaced the failed roof was almost exactly the same and was built by the exact same contractor. There were a couple small modifications, including better load redistribution to try to prevent those heavy spots that created the first small rupture, and they did use a stronger Teflon. The biggest takeaway was a need for improved maintenance and monitoring techniques. The original membrane should have been replaced almost 10 years prior to this failure, and then better weather preparedness. They should have had more foresight and ensured protocols were in place, allowing the snow removal crews to get to the places they needed to safely and effectively reduce the environmental live load. But really, as a whole, sports and entertainment industry has begun to move away from these air-supported roofs, instead opting for more reliable roofs like retractable and rigid options, as seen in Mercedes-Benz. Here are my references, and I appreciate your time this afternoon.